nice, cool sound of a new year, of a new. This is the way I want to wake up every morning. Just the sound of that. I don't want to even have an alarm clock on my iPhone. I just want to be woken up to an alarm clock of just crystal ice coffee, brewed, splash of cinnamon, cashew milk, whatever this fucking milk Nick gave me, Well, welcome to Cut to the Chase podcast. This is first episode of the new year. Happy New Year to everyone listening. Thank you guys for always tuning in. Appreciate you guys for subscribing. Please subscribe to the podcast. It is Cut to the Chase, the number 2. We're on YouTube, Spotify, all the podcast platforms. It is free. Just hit subscribe if you guys like the podcast. And yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in again. Happy New Year, as I mentioned. Hopefully you guys had a great time on your New Year's. I went to bed on New Year's Eve by 8 p.m. because I'm not a big fan of going out on New Year's anymore. I don't know if what you guys take on it, but I just feel like a nice pizza, going to bed by 8 p.m. and a nice hot shower is the way I want to bring in my new year. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting old. Maybe I'm getting just a little bit more. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to take a hot shower, man. It's all about the hot shower. I prefer. Listen, I've probably texted my landlord 3 times since I moved in to inform him that if I know when my hot shower, when I don't have any hot water, because I know my body, like I need to have it at a certain temperature. As soon as I don't have the temperature right on my water, I'm texting my landlord. I don't even care if it's like a smidgen below the boiling FDA approved by National Grid or whatever the case may be. Because I think it has to be like a certain boiling temperature for it to be considered like whatever. Listen, whatever I just said, don't even pay attention to. Hot showers is the way to go. People who take cold showers just straight, those are different type of people. I can't do it. But I took a very nice hot shower on New Year's. I took about a 40-minute hot shower. It was fantastic. It was great. Played music. I ordered a pizza. It was I didn't order from Domino's. I ordered from a local pizza place. The pizza taste, it was absolutely fucking horrendous. It was the worst pizza I ever had in my life. But, I didn't care. I just dipped it in extra blue cheese and it was fine. I always order blue cheese with my pizza. I like to dip the crust in blue cheese. Yeah, it's the way to go. I still possess some fat tendencies sometimes. New Year was good. Like I said, well rested. I went into the year January 1st very well rested. I drank 64 ounces of water for the first time in my life. Guys, I didn't know how hard it was to drink 64 ounces of water, like voluntarily. You know what I'm saying? Because throughout, like, I have to remind myself to drink water during the day. Like, sometimes I go in and sometimes it will be 4 p.m. and I stop in the middle of work or whatever I'm doing, and I literally say to myself, "Did you drink any water today? You oversized Troy Brown lookalike," I was proud of myself. I went to the bathroom like every 40 minutes. It was ridiculous though. My bladder was like, "Hey, what are you doing to yourself?" And then I told my bladder, I need to get more water into my system because I don't want to have any colon cancer or whatever, I don't know. This is the thing. My mom was just always I don't know why I don't drink enough water, because my mom always just used to beg me to drink water as a kid. To my mom, to her, water was like the remedy for all diseases. It doesn't matter what thing you had. She was like, "Drink water. You'll feel better." I'm like, "Mom, I have a sprained ankle." She's like, you're not drinking enough water. See, that's what happens to you. You didn't drink enough water. That's why your ligaments is not strong. The rationale behind it, maybe there's a little bit. I don't know. There might be some truth or validity to that. But so yeah, I started off good with the new year. Drank 64 ounces of water. I didn't drink anything more than that. I met my objective, but I went back to like not drinking any water now. So I'm still working on it. I dressed up actually a few days before. I went to a jazz concert. If anybody's listening in New Hampshire, if anyone's listening to this podcast, and if you're in New Hampshire, there's a great jazz club music place called Jimmy Jazz and Blues in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Now, the name alone is phenomenal. This place is great. I went there. I went to see an artist, a musician. I forgot her name, but I apologize. But she had a great voice. It was just great. It was a good vibe. I need to go back up there. I never go north of Boston and stay and venture out. Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, those are all places I just don't go, and I don't bother looking to go. It just doesn't come in my it doesn't come on my radar to like say, hey Abel, I feel like doing a night in, whatever, some bear country moose thing. It's not my thing. But I'm starting to venture out a little bit. That's one of my goals this year as well, is to start hanging out and looking for places that normally I don't go to. But Jimmy Jazz and Blues, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, great place. They had Herbie Hancock there recently, musician legend, jazz legend. They have a lot of like great musicians that are on tour, back on tour. So guys, check them out. And this is not even like an added plug. They didn't pay me for this. This is just because I really enjoy music, and I want you guys to know other things to do if you're in the New England area. I wore a very nice aqua blazer. I dressed up. I'm going to take my clothes to another level, what I wear. I think it's about time I go back to being a pretty boy. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so sorry. I have to sneak out.
My producer's leaving the podcast.
Keep going. My
And
wife knocked herself out.
oh, we have to let her in, please.
We can edit this out. Or...
No, it's fine. Listen. This is why I like to do the podcast very raw, live. We don't edit unless I need to edit something that doesn't cancel my career. You know what's funny? That's the first time I said that word, career. I don't know. I just don't think of this as a career, and maybe I probably should. No, I'm serious. I mean, I take my job seriously, being a comedian, being a podcaster, I do take it seriously, but in a weird way, I will be honest with you, I don't think of it in that terms of career. I just think of it as like something I'm just doing every day, something I love to do. And it has formed into a business, into this thing. So it is kind of weird when I say the word career, when I refer to comedy. But yeah, everything's fine now. But yeah, it was great. I wore a nice aqua blazer. I'm starting to go back to my pretty boy look days. My early 2000 days were probably my best prime pretty boy days. Yeah, I was killing it. And so I'm about to probably start going back to like dressing up a little bit. I'm going to bring back the blazer. 2023 is the year. It's called not Bring Black. Jesus, Chase. Bring back the blazer. Not bring black back. No, bring back the blazer. In some cases, we should probably bring back black. That's a tongue twister. Jesus. Bring black back. Bring back blazer. I'm going to Oh, I had a tough week, a little tough week. You guys know I just hate my job. You guys know that, you know. I don't. It's not so much I hate my job. It's just the people. I just hate corporate people who just want to climb the ladder and just don't know how to treat people. But I almost quit my job. I did. I almost quit my job. There was a lot of components to it. There was a lot of things that led up to it. There was an incident that happened with my assistant director, who felt the need to reprimand me, and in a way that I felt was fundamentally not the way he should have done it. And that's how I argued my argument. I used the word fundamental. I told him, you know what? I fundamentally disagree of how you run this department. And I didn't even know how to phrase that word until the night before when I watched Perfect Strangers. I saw Balki Bartakama say that to his boss, and I wrote it down because I just had it prepared in my ammunition, you know? Because I don't like when I hear a nice phrase, I like to write it down. I like to like copy it, you know. But yeah, he's just my assistant director, man. And you know, I think at this moment, like I gotta, you know, because you know when I almost like quit, I started like computing, you know, also how much money I'd be losing, my benefits. Then I had to, you know, explain it to Nicky Neighborhoods, and Nicky Neighborhoods gonna have to just, you know, basically tell me. That was such a stupid decision, but he's not gonna say it. It's his face. He's just gonna be like, so Nicky, do you want to hear like what happened?
Yeah, details.
So, it was like January 2nd, the first shift after the new year. I'm fresh. I didn't go out the night before. I explained that I was well rested. I went to bed. I was feeling good. I said, I'm gonna start the new year with a good shift. As soon as I get to my desk, my assistant director and one of my 5 managers who we have is in the office, and they said, my assistant director goes, Abel, do you how many badges have you had this past year?
So good. I already know where this is going.
I'm like, I don't know. Like, maybe, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, whatever the computer says, I guess. He's like, well, you know, there is a policy which you are familiar with. See, this is the thing. When you assume that I already know what you're talking about, if you're trying to correct me, I don't like those. I don't like that. Because obviously I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like that little thing they have over you, like, oh, you should know this. I was like, okay. So he's like, well, under our policy, which is every time someone says the word policy, for some reason, I just go black. I hate the word policy because the way it's said, it's just like.
You go red.
I go red.
You're already black.
If someone says policy to me, I'm just like. Yeah.
You don't like structure. So the policy is what? The policy is, let me guess, you have to pay for a card if you lose it?
The policy is as follows.
Okay.
If you reach a certain amount of badges within a certain time, whether it's lost or whether you took one and didn't bring it back, you get written up. Because in their eyes, it's a sign of negligence from a security standpoint.
Oh, I get that. Okay.
Which I do get.
Sure.
Coming from a public safety background, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
However, this is where I was pissed. The way first of all, it's obvious that this my director doesn't have any sense in how to deliver information and the time of when to deliver it. Why would you tell me why would you bring me in the office at the very first thing of my shift? Why don't you tell me after lunch?
No, you deliver bad news immediately and promptly.
Well, see, Nick, this is why we're gonna.
Yeah, I'm just telling you. I'm just letting you know.
This is not the way I wanted this discussion to. I thought this was gonna
Go
be
back on mute.
Yeah, well, I thought this was gonna be a little different. So he's about to write me up, and I'm like, "Oh, really? You're gonna write me up? No verbal warning, nothing. My record's clean. I don't have anything on my record as far as like my arrests. I don't have anything. Give me a verbal. You know, don't. What are you jumping? What's this going straight to shooting me down? You know." And then just the way he was very dismissive of like, I said, well, you know, this is going to like hurt me if I want to transfer, because the policy is if you get written up, you have to wait 6 months for that to clear before you can transfer a different department. So I've been busting my butt to try to get myself out of that place.
To transfer to a different location.
And now I feel like I feel like I was unwarrantedly, you know.
What was his response?
It was no empathy, just... I'm here to just do this, and I don't care. That's what really bothered me, you know.
So it was just, we have to write you up.
Yeah. And do you know what he said after? He goes, "Oh, by the way, can you read this and sign it?" I was like, "I'm not reading it. I'll just sign it."
Okay. Well,
so I just signed it, and I said, "Okay." And you know what I did? I was like, "Oh, let me talk to the actual director." So I was like, I sent her a message. I was like, "May I have a word with you?" I typed it. "May I have a word with you when you have a moment?"
there you go.
And she's like, "Absolutely." So she said, "Absolutely." So I went down, closed the door, and I looked at her, and I was like, "Gina?"
Her name would be Gina.
So Gina, sorry to break the bad news to you. Oh, I'm
proud of you. That's a good one.
I'm learning.
Yeah. That's a good one.
You always lead with. I'm starting to lead with that.
I do that whenever, not to interrupt the story, but I do that whenever I'm at a hotel and I have to talk to the concierge or someone that is gonna, you know, like fix something. I'll go, "Oh man, I'm so sorry to break the bad news, but the air conditioner is not working." Perfect. Sorry, Gina. Sorry to break the bad news to you.
And by the way, I love the name Gina. By the way,
Great name.
From Martin.
I was just about to say, it feels like I'm at a table read from Martin.
Love it.
Gina. Sorry to break the bad news to you.
Which
is kind of how the show went. Yep.
Yeah. So I always have a love for Gina, but I was like, Gina, I sorry to break the bad news, but today is gonna be I'm putting in my 2 weeks. And she looked at me. She said, "Why?" I was like, "Oh, well, you sure you want to know why? Like permission to speak freely?" She goes, "Sure." Guys, if you really want to make your point across, if someone asks you to tell them what's wrong, always say permission to speak freely, because that gives you the room to just run them right over.
Wow. This is the worst advice I've ever heard, but continue.
So I told her everything that transpired with that incident with my assistant director who wrote me up because of a stupid badge. Okay. And I told her that, you know, I'm not mastering my craft because there's no progressive learning training here. Mm-hmm. Oof. Yep.
I don't agree.
I told her that I don't even have my suit uniform. That got her though, because all the other things she didn't really care, because I could tell by her eyes, because I was just like making up things, you know. But as soon as I said I don't even have a uniform, that's when she's like, oh, that's all. That falls on me actually too.
Yeah.
So then she started like caring.
So now here's how I would have handled this.
So
okay. So sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. So basically, I told her like how I was frustrated with like just with certain things in the department, how I've been very patient, where my goals are, and I will always take accountability when I do something wrong. However, I'm more of a person where give me the information, but it's how you deliver the information to me that I pay attention to. You know, I want information to be I want it to be given with respect and just a little bit of, you know, just more respect. You know, don't treat me like just I'm an employee number, you know? She's like, I understand, and we'll look into this. I'll make sure this is not a written. I'll make sure this is a verbal.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
And then, because she understood that I'm a great worker, and I led, also what I led with Nikki, I think that covered my ass because I was probably that close. I think what saved my ass because I think she was at the point she was like, okay, like you can put your 2 weeks. We don't really care. I was like, hopefully you don't you're mistaken my frustration with being passionate. I think that got her. Mm-hmm. I think she was like, yeah, he's passionate. He's just angry. He's just emotional right now. He cares about his job.
Yeah.
So I kind of saved my ass because, then I started saying to myself after, like, I started computing how much money I'd be losing every 2 weeks, and I was like, oh, right, this is probably the most stupidest decision I ever made. Walking into my director's office and saying, hey, I'm putting in my 2 weeks today, and then I was like, oh, what really, I was proud of myself. I was proud of myself, like the confidence and the balls that I had to like walk away from my desk. Like I had that energy. Mm-hmm. Like if I quit today, everything's gonna be fine. I'll figure it out. Nope.
No, it won't be. We're about to go into a recession.
So please tell me your take.
Well, I think he did a lot of things right here. I think, but I also think he did a lot of things wrong.
Give me at least the clap for the right stuff.
I think it's important. I think it's great that you remain calm.
I tried
for the most part.
I did look. I did.
I think you definitely should understand what the rules are, and I think you knew what the rules were in this situation. But I agree. I think, I would have approached this guy. I would have said, we don't have to say his name. We'll just say it's Raul. Mm-hmm. Say, Raul, I totally understand. You're absolutely right. However, I would appreciate if we could just maybe have a verbal, because I do have aspirations of bettering myself and getting a promotion. And I know this is, written really would put me in a bad spot. And see what he says. And then if he did the same thing, you go into the director. You do a skip a level, go to the director. Mm-hmm. I'm so sorry. Gina, I'm so sorry. I'm embarrassed to even bring this to you, to be frank. Do you have a second? Do you have a minute? I always do. I always follow up with, do you have a second that you did? That was perfect. I love that. I love that.
Yeah. I did do that in writing.
That's yeah. No, I think you did fine. You just can't overplay your hand. I feel like, and you have to know this was a situation you don't want to get written up. That's some skin that's documented.
Yeah.
So you want to go in, you want to be like, look, how can we work through this? Because I'd hate to have something so small turn into such a, a bad outcome for both of us. It's really hard to find people to work in the service industry or to work in, a certain security. It's not easy to find these people. So
good people,
good
workers.
So you bring up your background, you bring up all the good things that you did, and then you admit fault.
I had my nonprofit volunteer stuff like ready just in case if she.
The 2 weeks notice stuff doesn't work with me, and you as you said, it doesn't work with her either, because she was kind of just like, okay, what do you want me to do? But I think when you brought up the uniform, when you brought it up in a way where it's just like,
I was like, Gina, just to be honest, I was like, Gina, just to be honest, I said, I apologize for my frustration, but Gina, I don't even have a uniform. It's January 2nd of 2023. I started here July 6th of 2022.
Yeah.
I put it in her corner now.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Here's the ball. Oh, by the way, here's the ball. It's in your court. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Thank God you didn't quit your job.
I'm so happy I didn't quit my job.
I'm so
happy because
I'm happy. My wife's happy. And we're all happy that you did not quit your job.
I was like, what am I doing? You idiot. Like, you don't quit your job until you either have a job lined up or you're just like me 12 years ago when or whatever. No, 10 years ago, 11 years ago when I started comedy. No, I don't even know when 2010? Yeah, 2011. Where you just quit. You're just like, you're just like, you're just going to figure it out. The times are different now, the times are different. So think before you,
quit.
Think before you quit. At that moment, I thought quitting while I was ahead didn't mean quitting, but that wasn't.
Yeah, I think
wasn't
you
ahead.
confuse the sentence that, and it's you're ahead already by still being employed there.
Mm-hmm.
You're just trying to solve something. You're trying to get something that is not a big ask.
I did kind of like, in a weird way, I just kind of felt like, well, the only reason I got pissed at my assistant director because the way he said it is a written warning. That's where I got pissed. So then I started getting a little attitude. I was like, this is ridiculous. And I just signed my name. I was like, I didn't want to talk to him. Because, he's one of these people that, just comes in he tries to be the disciplinarian. He's framing himself and he's putting himself as like the disciplinarian, as like one of the managers. And like people are just frustrated with him because they're just like, dude, we don't need a disciplinarian. We just need we need a leader. We need people who just have like a better sense of leadership. And when you have that, then you can manage people as you go.
Is he new?
Yeah, he's new.
That's it.
He's new to that. He's new. Yeah, he is new.
That's it. New people, when you come in, you have to be a listener, an active listener. And you got to let people really just do their thing for a month, 2 months, and then you start to implement your agenda.
Yeah. Well, he'll try. Yeah, he's trying. But anyways, I still have a job, guys. I still can eat peanut butter and jelly. I still can afford my rent. And,
what made the pizza so bad that you had on New Year's?
oh, dude, you would. Oh my God,
Pizza takes,
dude. I almost called you for a Nicky Neighborhoods.
I wish you would have.
For a Nicky Neighborhoods review. Not good. Crust, not the right crust, not the right spread ratio.
How do you like a pizza?
Not enough
What's
cheese.
your ideal pizza?
Oh, it's got to be. See, Nicky, this is where I get a little frustrated because I don't know. Because sometimes I like to go with a deep dish. I like a deep dish.
Okay.
I like deep dishes sometimes. I like the deep with the cheese,
crust and cheese.
Yeah. But sometimes a nice flat, just a nice cosmopolitan pizza.
Okay. Neapolitan or cosmopolitan?
I hope I said it.
I think it's Neapolitan. But there might be cosmopolitan pizzas out there.
Well, I'm hoping that cosmopolitan comes with the pizza.
Yep. Okay.
So
we know what you order when you're shit-faced.
Cosmopolitan with the fuck.
I love a nice thin crust. Nice thin crust pizza. Ugh.
So I think with thin crust, you have to have the right amount of sauce to offset the lack of bread.
Yeah.
Right? Or it's cheese.
No, it's cheese. It's got all the proportions got to be right. Everything has to be even. And equal.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, I don't like heavy doughy pizzas. I like it nice and crispy, cooked well through.
Okay. Do you like pepperoni pizzas? What's your favorite pizza? What's your
cheese pizza? Regular cheese pizza or a margarita pizza?
Plain pizza, cheese, really? Mm-hmm. Margarita. What's the margarita has?
Margarita is just tomatoes, mozzarella, and basil. It's just the style.
The style.
Kind of the style that they do it in.
That's like a traditional Italian choice of pizza, right?
Yeah, margarita. Neapolitan is from Napoli, in Italy, which is kind of the fluffy crust, but then really really thin, almost like it flops. That's when people say Neapolitan. That's like fancy pizza.
Yeah, because tell me if I'm wrong. Traditional pizza from Italy is not doughy, right? It's more. The pizzas are a lot more lighter.
Yeah.
Right?
They're lighter, thin crust.
Okay.
You can eat them. You kind of fold them up into. You actually fold in Italy. They fold a Neapolitan up into a pocket and eat it.
Okay. To go plate.
Yeah, but I like your traditional New York slice. Like Joe's Pizza to me makes
from New York.
To New York, yeah.
I never had a Joe's Pizza.
Joe's Pizza is really good. Prince Street Pizza. What's the other one that I really like? They're all kind of in the West Village. You can get all these slices in the West Village.
Hey,
Best Pizza in
But
Brooklyn.
where you at now, though, bro?
Oh, in Boston.
Yeah.
I would say I had Dirty Water Pizza. Dirty dough pizza the other day. That was like a New York slice.
Good.
That was good, yeah.
All right.
I like Pico.
Pico's
really good in the South End.
Of course.
And then, of course, Regina's. Regina's is like every high school or middle school, mostly middle school and elementary school birthday party. Papagino's and Regina's are the two just...
You know what I was a big fan of? Pizza Hut.
Oh, okay, yeah. You got to do the chains.
Pizza. out of all the chains, Pizza Hut for me was like, that was the chain.
I hear that a lot.
Because of crust.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why. There's not that many Pizza Huts, man. I was a huge Pizza Hut. I'm still a huge pizza. If there's a pizza, dude, when I'm driving on a highway, like if I just see a Pizza Hut like that shows, you know, those like gas in like 3 miles. But if there's a Pizza Hut sign next to that gas, I'm getting pizza first. Yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck. What?
Domino's?
Yes, when I was in college, if it's the only one around, I'll get it once in a while. I used to, me and my boys, shout out to my boy D, my boy P. We used to order medium pineapple pizzas and just eat the whole thing to ourselves. Like we'd order individual pineapple pizzas.
Interesting.
Yeah, they introduced me to pineapple pizzas.
When did you have your first slice of pizza?
Probably when I first came to America, when food was present.
Okay, so that early.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When I don't know, maybe. Yeah, I remember having pizza parties as a kid, like for birthday parties. My mom was big on like, you know, when you're like 11, 10, 9 years old, you have pizza parties. Yeah. We had, because when I was a kid, because Chinese food wasn't really a thing after Fantasy Island debacle. You know my Fantasy Island.
Tune into a couple episodes, but I think it was like 5 or 6 episodes back where he tells this Fantasy Island story. But yeah, I think after that, Asian food is out the window for me.
I put them on ice for a little bit. Yeah, we had a strenuous relationship.
Check out episode 51, Daddy Issues. I think it's either that one or it might be There's No FDA in Africa. I think it might be it's either one of those. But yes, no, it's the Northeast has a very specific kind of pizza, I would say, and it also has an infatuation with Chinese food that's not really Chinese food.
Well, yeah.
Like the Americanized version. Sure. I think that's two very distinct differences here.
I've been went to Thai food, getting some Thai food recently.
Oh, delicious.
You love Thai food?
Pad Thai, yeah.
Pad Thai? Yeah. I don't get the nuts with it. Pause.
Okay.
I don't get like the walnuts or, you know.
You got to work up to some of that stuff. I have a very
I'm sure you do.
Open palate. Pause. I thought that was I got a pretty big palate, so
You'll try stuff.
Yeah, I'll try anything.
Do you like the Brussels sprouts with it?
Yeah.
So you try do you get chicken pad thai or shrimp pad thai?
Depending on where it's from, I'll probably start with chicken, and then maybe if I'm in person, I'll do shrimp.
Shrimp.
I want to scope the place out first.
I think me and you should go to to get real shrimp. Me and you should plan a trip to New Orleans.
Now, this is something I've always wanted to. I've always been conflicted with.
New Orleans or me?
Yeah, New Orleans. Well, you're a loose cannon. Yeah, I would say New Orleans is a place that I want to go now. If you asked me a year ago, 2-3 years ago, I would not have wanted. You know, I just had no interest.
George Bush doesn't care about.
Oh, here we go.
Just.
I texted you, or I think I was talking about jollof rice, and you tell me that you don't. George Bush doesn't care about. The reason I wouldn't want to go to Louisiana is probably I don't like spicy food.
Stop.
I think it's a gimmick.
Stop.
I think it's a gimmick.
Stop. I'm not going to let you proceed with any of this. Just ridiculous what you're about to get. Spicy food is awesome.
Okay, what kind of spicy food?
Dude, I mean, you have East African spicy food. You have Indian like spicy food. You got West Caribbean type spicy. It's all about the way it's cooked.
Yes, I'm open to that.
Yeah. So what do you mean spicy?
Just random ass like fried chicken and like spicy Old Bay shrimp. Like I don't have any interest in that. I'll just do it here. I'll just cook it here. But if there's like, I've learned recently, there's like.
What about collard greens? You like collard greens? Little southern collard greens?
I've only had it once and I really enjoyed it.
Baked mac and cheese? Buffalo mac and cheese? You ever had that?
Yeah, but like I feel like we could get that up here. Can we get that up here?
Not even remotely.
Not close.
The way it's made. Yeah, not even close.
See, this is why. So now I want. Okay, I'll go.
Yeah. What jambalaya? Some jambalaya, some gumbo, shrimp gumbo.
That just
I mean, at first I could see why you probably wouldn't like it because it's not like connecting at first. Mm-hmm. I think when you try it, I think you'd like it.
Yeah.
I think you'd like it. Yeah. What I would love for you to try is actually East African Eritrean food. Have you ever had that before?
No. Yes, I would love to try that.
Spicy. We can get it spicy.
But there's flavor.
Well, all the flavor. I mean,
Not all spicy food has flavors. Not
New
all
Orleans,
spicy
New
food.
Orleans flavors. It's based on spices.
I'd like to. Have you been to New Orleans?
No.
Okay.
He needs some milk.
So two people who have never been to a place arguing opposite sides of it.
Yeah.
That's what this podcast is.
That's exactly
That's
what
this podcast.
Yeah. There's no. I don't. There's no. We don't base. I don't base anything on like actual facts.
You know a place that I think you would enjoy is Austin, Texas. I don't care for it, but I think you would enjoy the barbecue. I think the food will. I think you get turned on by the food down there.
I'm actually going there next week.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm going next weekend to Austin, Texas. Actually, now you went to Austin, Texas, and I'm going to good old Texas. My first time going to good old Texas. I'm actually looking forward to it, and I don't think I've ever said that about Texas in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you went to Austin, but I'm looking forward to like the barbecue, the steak. I'm definitely looking for. I'm gonna eat good when I go to Austin, dude.
Yeah,
I'm eating good when I go, and you don't have to spend that much money to eat good down in Austin either. Like,
no,
you know, everything. The one thing about the Northeast, just to kind of kick back a little bit to you about the food here. The one thing that I will have to say is like the food here is just so expensive in the Northeast.
Sure.
You know, I don't feel like we should be spending a whole bunch of food for perishable like grocery, like just the whole. I mean, dude, just go into like Market Basket or Stop and Shop just to get like 10 or 6, whatever, 12 items comes like $200. Mm-hmm. It's like,
yeah, it's a lot. It's expensive.
It's a lot of money to eat, man. You know what I mean? So I want to start learning all of it this year too, bro. How to hunt and like make my own food, like you know, just in case shit hits the fan. I want to like just know that shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's interesting. Survival skills.
Survival skill stuff.
Yep.
I've been watching the show on Netflix, bro. It's called Alone on Netflix. It's about these like, you know, these people. And when I say these people.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Just like really adventurous white people. That take it upon themselves to go away from their families and go to like the most rural, most non-populated area in Alaska and stay there as long as they can to survive. I like the commitment, but you're not catching me doing that.
You're fascinated by like that different type of white person.
I love
that, like
that
next level white person. Because like a regular white person is just going to be like, I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to go to work. Those people are like, I wonder, would I fucking survive in Alaska? Let me go find out.
I like them.
Those types of people.
I like those because they're searching for something.
Yeah. A little off, but yeah.
Listen.
It's like people that live in Colorado. They have that little bit of that in them.
Like, if like those type people, like, yeah, I just like, yeah, I like the hunting, like they know how to survive. They know how to get like, just, yeah. Hey, Abel, you want to let's go. There's no food, for the next 2 weeks. We need to go kill a deer. Let's go.
Yeah. See, that's intense though. That's a lot at once.
What?
There's a lot that goes into that.
Inviting me? Or
No. What you're describing, there's so much that goes into that. You can't just get a gun and go shoot something and eat it.
Oh, man.
I mean, depending on which type of, where you're at.
Well, my country.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
I don't want to say
Go back to your country then, Chase.
Oh, no, I did not mean to. There it is.
I was about to say, Nicky agrees.
Okay, build that wall. No.
Some underlining things you want to tell me, Dick?
No, but I have a buddy that does that, and even just shooting a gun takes weeks of, not weeks, but like 2 solid weeks of training.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And gun etiquette, it's like very important to do. You think it's bullshit until you get around them and you realize how fucking powerful they are.
They're very powerful.
You're like, fuck.
Very powerful. I remember one time that but I know I could do it though, because because as a kid, my dad, this is the thing also, this is crazy about African families and African dads. If you grew up in an African household, if you grew up with an African father, like most of the time, they're not asking you for approval. They just would tell you, you're coming with me to do this thing.
Yeah.
And
Any ethnic dad is just get up. We're going to do this.
my dad came in one time when I was a freshman in high school. I never will forget this. Came into my room. It was 4:30 in the morning. Woke me up. Said, "Hey, get your clothes on. We're going to the farm." I'm like, "Dad, we live in 20 minutes north of Boston. There's no farms everywhere."
Which farm?
What are you talking about? You talking about the fucking Piccadilly farms? Cumberland farms? What are you talking about? That's the only farm I know. The one I could get an egg salad sandwich at the gas station. That's the only farm I know. He's like, "No, we're going to go. It's Easter. It's our Easter, our Orthodox Easter. And we have to go get a lamb." I said, "What? What do you mean get a lamb?"
Oh, I know what he means.
Like, get a lamb? He's like, "Yeah, we're going to go get a lamb." I was like, "All right, we're getting a lamb." I don't know what the hell he mean. Drives up probably an hour and a half away from Boston to a farm in Fitchburg, Massachusetts.
Woof. That's west.
Walks into the house. Walks into a house, right? There's no sign. There's not even a sign that says lambs here.
Yeah.
No LLC. No, company this way.
Yeah.
The driveway wasn't even paved. What type of establishment doesn't have a paved driveway? I don't trust businesses that don't have a paved driveway. Okay? If you're selling something and you're telling people to come to your establishment, have your driveway paved. I walk in, we see a 400-pound guy sitting in a couch with a bunch of cash on the table next to him. My dad's like, "Yeah, so we're here to pick up a lamb." He goes, "What size and when do you want it?"
Oh, God.
My dad's like, "Now, and we want the, whatever." I think my dad gave I don't know, maybe $200 or something, right? Cash, right? Guy goes, "Okay," calls his son, right? Comes in the house, has shit all over his boots.
Not great.
Definitely, I think it's like goat shit. Definitely, he smells like goats. Takes us in the back, right? Picks a lamb out of just picks it by the leg, right? Takes the lamb, raises it up just on this little thing that raises by its legs, and my dad just comes with a knife, boom, cuts its throat. I'm like, "Whoa, hey Dad, there was no briefing on the way up here. You had an hour and a half drive to tell me this is what we're gonna do."
So you shouldn't have to pay $200 for that. To do the work yourself.
Well, if you actually was it 100? I think it was $125 actually.
That's wild.
I think it was $125.99. I think it was on sale or something. And then we butcher the whole thing, dude. I'm helping my dad.
You have to skin it?
Yeah, the whole thing from scratch, dude. No briefing. OSHA not around.
There's no OSHA.
There's not even
no OSHA at this farm.
There's no OSHA. There's not even an eye wash machine for emergencies.
Yeah, the green eye wash machine.
Yeah, there's no eye wash machine. What about blood gets into my eyes? I can't even wash my eyes.
Eye wash machine. Nope.
The facility definitely wasn't checked in a few years.
How was the lamb?
Oh, I mean, the lamb was delicious.
Oh my God.
But the thing was, dude, I'm just saying, dude, as a 14-year-old kid, 15-year-old kid, this is what my dad grew up on.
No.
You just kill it, you skin it, we bagged it up. It was an all-day process, dude. We didn't get home till 5 o'clock.
What the fuck?
And this is what people do. This is how, and people, this is what I think we forget, how food actually gets to our table.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
We are so, as Americans here, we kind of are privileged to the fact that we can just go to the store and just get meat, right? But we never think usually, how did that meat get to the register, right? There was a process. And big business, the cattle business, the butchery business, I didn't know, right? So I'm going to Texas, and we're going to learn some things, baby.
God help us all.
I'm trying to grow.
Just have some tacos. Have some ribs. Do a couple sets and get the fuck out of there.
This is the type of shit that I grew up on with my dad.
That's wild.
And now they're wondering why I'm just the way I am. That I'm just like, because you never
Yeah.
nurtured me into this process, you know?
There was no, hey, we're going to go do something today. Might seem a little scary. Get in the car, wait an hour and a half in suspense. Get there, see your dad kill and then slaughter a lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah. And you know, it was all legal. It wasn't like we didn't
no. There's nothing illegal about what you're describing.
Yeah, we
You're-
basically were butchers that weren't like, I guess, behind a counter.
Oh, fucking wild.
Wild stuff, right, bro? But it was delicious. But it was, it was good. But Austin, Texas, man, I think I'm gonna go and buy. I want to buy a cowboy hat, some boots, and a buckle.
Okay.
Yeah, gonna do that.
And you're going to wear it where?
I didn't think that far ahead.
You're going to wear it up here in Boston?
I think I might. I want to piss off some people off.
How's that going to go?
I think it would go well with the very
On the South Shore.
I think more like people who live in Wakefield, Reading.
I feel like those towns just outside the Cape.
Just
Just outside the Cape. It's a little bit more rural than you're used to.
Oh,
and then like points way north of Massachusetts.
Bro, white conservative people love black dudes that wear cowboy apparel. They love like black people who wear cowboy stuff.
And an
Conservative
eagle
white people,
belt buckle.
and an eagle,
Yeah.
with the American flag on the strap.
Flying free. Flying free. They ain't taking our rights, am I right?
Yeah.
What rights? What rights are being taken?
There's nothing like a black dude that's a cowboy that could talk about front and rear differential. That could talk about the differences of you know what I said to a guy just because I want to be part of like the truck talk. I was like, how big's the bed?
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
Is that an 8-foot bed?
Is it an 8-foot bed? 6.5. Oh, you went with the short bed. Probably for the cab, because you get the cab in the back. What's the bed lined with? That's if you want to get a fucking white guy conservative on your side, you ask him what his truck bed is lined with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I know nothing about that world, but I know a little bit of something where I can engage with them, and they're happy. They're like, you'd be surprised. Like, I have like full conversations about things I never know nothing about.
No, I'm not surprised. I think people just want to talk. I think some people just want to talk about what they like.
What did you like in Austin when you go in? What should I expect?
Best French omelet of my life. The best French omelet I've ever had in my entire life was in Austin, and I was so pissed off that it was in Austin. Because I've been to places where it should have been better and it wasn't, and this place.
French omelet.
Yeah.
Was this at like a restaurant or a hotel?
I'll get you the name of the place.
All right, because I gotta get some things going here, man. But I believe you told me that Austin's not a place you want to live, though, right?
I would never live in Austin. And the reason I say that is just because...
You're really taking me on a whirlwind of emotions right now. First, you tell me you got the best French...
June's All Day. Go to June's All Day. It's a little hipstery kind of spot, but delicious. The food is fantastic.
Black owned?
No, I can't imagine that many of the spots down there, I would imagine, are predominantly white owned. I think, although I don't know. That's the vibe I got.
You know what? The way you just said that right now, the way you softly fucking said that,
I dropped my tone.
You dropped the tone.
Yeah.
But when you first started,
because you need to know that I am not okay with that.
But at first, with the way you were, it was the way you did it was eloquently done. It was great because you were like, it was just like the way you said it was like, yeah, no, I don't think that's you. That's a thing down there. But the way you said it didn't make it seem like that was the reason. You were just like, yeah, just because there's just more white people. That's all.
Yeah, I just think it's a numbers thing. If I had to guess,
because for a second I thought you said, well, no, that's not a thing down there.
Yeah, no. If I had a guess, I would say based on what I saw visually.
Well, the name is because you know what black restaurant names.
June's All Day. Yeah.
Soul for Real.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, if it was, I would have said it.
Yeah, right.
I absolutely would have said it.
You're right.
But that was good. I stayed at this hotel called The Line, which was kind of a cool. It's called The Line.
The Line?
Yep.
Okay.
Right on the river, the Colorado River, right before you go into Congress. When you're on South Congress Street, before you go into like that part of that everyone visits, it's like close to downtown.
How nice is the hotel?
It's like a 3.5 star, almost 4-star hotel. It's a little ratty in some places because it's kind of one of those party hotels. It's actually no, it is a nice hotel. But they redid a less nice hotel, and you can tell where it was not as nice.
So it's more like they put just like a reno, like a light reno.
Yeah, it's like the W. It gives me W vibes if it were a little more quirky. Like if it were just like
Moxie, like a Moxie type?
Yeah, exactly.
Because Moxie's hotels, if you guys don't know, Moxie, they have like a little character to them. They had like a...
It's like, this hotel bought a Ramada and put their spin on it.
Yeah.
But the bones of the hotel are a solid 2 or 3-star hotel. But the food at the hotel, I mean, great. Pool spot, so check that out. The coffee down there is really good. And then Tex-Mex is fine. I like Mexican food up here. I like the food up here where it's like it feels more authentic.
Dude, I know what, bro. You're like you just want to. You're such an East Coast dude.
Yeah.
Anything that doesn't come from the East Coast.
Yeah.
Do you know Mexican food comes from Mexico?
And which is why I was so surprised. Lo and behold, my surprise, Chase, when I bit into it and I go, this tastes like a hamburger mixed with a taco. Yeah. So I was like, but to be fair, like
it's gotta come. It's Nicky doesn't trust no food if it doesn't come from a dude named Luigi.
No,
from Danvers.
Not true. Nick doesn't like Mexican food if it's not made by a Mexican person that relocated to the Northeast. They get that little bit of that Northeast in them, where they're like, okay, we're going to make this fast, and we're not going to get cute about it. A lot of cute food down there.
I know what it is.
You know?
I know this. Yeah, you like Mexican foods made by Mexicans who are like, they just got naturalized.
Yes.
But it took them like 15 years.
They're like, I'm happy to be here, and wait till you try my family's recipe.
Right.
Yes, please.
Like they just got naturalized as a citizen.
Correct. And they're happy about it.
Like they came to your house and celebrated and brought you food.
That's the food. That's the food. No, it's fine. There's good places down there to eat. I think I was expecting a little bit more of a personality, and what I got was just kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I'm not blown away, but okay.
Well,
this is here.
Well, dude, just to be quite honest with you, I think it's hard to kind of impress you.
Yeah, it is.
So I think just natural. I think it's not even just a you thing. I think it's more a lot of people from this region of the country, like ourselves, like the East Coast, where like it takes a lot to impress us. You know, we have that kind of like that attitude. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, it is. Look at this fucking guy. You know, with his nice pressed pants and nice shoes, looks successful, has a family. Ugh. You know, like anything that looks like it's promising, like
I just don't like when people try to be cute about things. Keep it simple. Give me if it's a hamburger, give me the hamburger.
Right.
Don't put you know how people drink Bloody Marys?
I first of all,
I don't, but do you know how like when you order them, there's like there's a hamburger on it, there's a fucking umbrella coming out of it, there's like 15 different things.
No.
Just gimp. You're not familiar with that.
Nah.
All right.
Not at all.
So sometimes when white people get bored, they go have brunch and they go to places where they make you know what a Bloody Mary is, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they go to places that try to add on top of the Bloody Mary itself as a drink. So they'll put a big like skewer in a big cup of Bloody Mary, and they'll put a hamburger, bacon, a tennis racket. Like they'll just build on top of it, and people take pictures and act cute, and they think it's great.
Yeah.
It's fucking repulsive. And sometimes that's a little bit of what I thought was being done with the food in Austin. It was just a little bit of that of like bachelorettes shit.
So they're a lot more garnish than like decorative.
Too much
Decoration.
decorative garnish.
Too much
yeah.
decorative garnish.
By the way, great use of the word.
New year, new me.
Love that. What are some of your goals if you're...
To read.
I like that.
I want to read more.
That's good.
Like actually read, like from front to back.
What prevents you from reading?
I think I have something wrong with me.
Okay.
Like I don't have the urge. Like I don't like. There's something in my brain that doesn't want me. That tells me I should. Like there's no urge for me to pick up a book and read it.
There's a lack of interest. Would you say?
There's a lack of interest because I feel like I learned. I know for a long time. I don't know. I feel like I don't know, for some stupid odd reason I tell myself, yeah, I could learn more by just listening and learning from like experiences and stuff, and just, which is dumb because I'm a grown adult and I should be able to read a book.
You know what reading.
I know how to read a book, but it just doesn't like. You know what? I'll tell you. Okay, let me get my words in order here. This is why I feel like I don't read, because I was forced to read as a kid and I hated it. My dad would not let us go out and play unless we read for like 2-3 hours a day. But there was nothing for me to read because there was no interest in read. Like I didn't have the interest to read. Like we didn't have like the books, like just wasn't, I don't know. Like I was more into sports and shit. Like I don't know. Like I can't even tell you. And I think I just lost it. I didn't develop the apt for it. You know, after a certain age, it just was just like, like reading is not something I'm interested in. But I think that my friend, some of my friends, my friend Randy used to tell me, you know, just start off with reading something that you're interested in first. Doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be like, you know, a big long book about this. Just start off with like a magazine. Start off with, if you like basketball, read a basketball like documentary about, or a biography of something, like, and then start from there. And that was like 5 years ago. He told me that.
Done. Out the window.
And
reading will help you construct sentences and complete thoughts. That's why
First of all, don't you ever.
Here we go.
Don't you ever. I know what you did. I know what you did. You're not saying it.
What, did you not complete a complete thought earlier?
No, I did, but I know what you're doing. And I fucking love you, but I also hate you for what you just did, because you basically, without telling me, I don't know how to speak. And I struggle with words, and I don't know how to articulate certain things and get to the point. And you should have a certain apt on comprehension and retaining information. I know that underlining thing. You know what it was? You know what you just did right there? You did what my father did when he brought me to kill the lamb. You didn't tell me like straight up what I need to hear. You just went around it. But I love it. I respect it.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Yeah, I mean, look, man. Just read a little more. I think the thing should just be to just do the thing.
Nick, shut up.
That's
I know
2023. Why don't you just do? Well, you know what? Okay, no.
No, I love it
because you post on Instagram 2023 ... pressure.
Oh yeah,
I saw that post.
It's on.
But then I apply pressure, and you tell me that I should be doing this.
No. I definitely Nicky. Most of the thing that you do say, I should be doing it. Like fucking, let's be real.
Like reading the policies at work.
Yeah, following the rules, showing up. You know, being on time.
Not quitting your job.
Not quitting my job. I know what I'd be.
What are your comedy goals? Ugh. But what are they?
I want to comedy goals. Well, I mean, I would also consider this podcast as part of the comedy goal, but build a podcast, and just be more accountable for my career, you know, and taking and really setting benchmarks and reaching them, you know, make realistic benchmarks and writing things down, you know, the little things, which I did not know that it's a challenge, man, for some people. It is. It's a challenge for some people. Some people it's easier. Some people can just do it, get it, do it, just get it, do it. You know, there's a lot of things in this brain that I need to start separating and start compartmentalizing, you know? So yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I think you should start writing. Things down. I think visually seeing shit will help you.
Yeah. Actually, breaking news, actually.
I don't have a button for that, actually, but go ahead.
I think that Mr. Abel will ultimately see a therapist. Now,
here we go. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if like when that will be, but I think that I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, maybe I need to get some things out and start talking to someone, you know, who's not as judgy, like someone on the right.
Mr. Fucking Clean, Mr. Fucking Goddamn Hide and Mighty.
But I think that's gonna be. One, and also the other thing too this year that I want to also work on is balancing more of a spiritual solitude for my self-evolution.
Wow.
So
I respect that.
Yeah. Your face.
I can't say it with a straight face, but I mean, that's good.
I feel like for a second you wanted to shit on it.
I did.
But then something told.
Then I saw you were serious.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, never mind. Never mind. We'll clap for that.
We'll clap for that.
Well, I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think people at this point, it's like, you know, just know how you feel, know how to process your feelings.
Right. Yeah.
And then regulate your feelings.
Regulate them. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And reading only helps you with shit. And you know, visualizing the things that you want will basically get you to start thinking and acting towards the thing that you want.
The thing you want, yeah. And I also finally realized, really finally realized that you have to break things down, and you need to have a plan, you know, and write things down. And, you know, those days of just doing things on the whim with your, you know, and it's with what I'm trying to do and what we're trying to do, it's a lot of work, and there's no way we will be able to do that just on the whim. You know, things have to be, you know, constructed and compartmentalized, and, you know, I think it's going to be a good year. I hope it's not going to be like last year, you know, but we'll see. We'll see. What's your thing this year? Tell me one thing. What's or two, whatever you want, you know. Actually, I'll give you this. Let me ask you this question. Give me one thing for comedy that you would like to reach or obtain, and one personal.
Okay.
Not to put you on the spot.
Personal. I need to get stronger. So I'm working, like, physical fitness is like my number one personal priority, because everything goes through that.
Yeah,
everything goes through
the
like
vessel of the body. Yeah,
yeah,
mental and physical, for sure.
If I'm tired, if I'm, you know, worked a full day, got to shoot afterwards, I'll feel so much better having already just worked out, you know, the day before, or at least know that, okay, tomorrow I'm working out, I'll feel good about that, you know.
Right. That's good.
That's for sure. Obviously, you know, the reading piece is just read more.
Read more. You read. I think you read pretty well.
I'm okay. I'm ADD. Like, I'll get like I always pair 3 books together, because if I go to read something and I get bored, I'll open up another book and read through that. But
okay.
And then for comedy, I'm working on. We're not doing the Nicky Neighborhood show. We're doing something different, and I'm trying to think through different ideas of like a new podcast that I would host.
Okay. Okay.
But it would be something different, something themed. It's tough because everyone kind of already it's like there's so many different things out there. So it's just coming up with the thing that fits me the most.
Well, what is it that what's the first thing like comes to you first?
Well, it's about interests, right? So my interests are food.
Okay.
Middle class minutia, the things that you've experienced in a middle class world, and some of the things that you like, some of the things you don't like. Current events, just ripping the internet apart. Things like that.
Things like that. Okay.
Yeah, so something like that. It'll be something soon, but getting to that, and then I don't know, working with you more and going and participating in more shows and participating in more. Putting the work in.
Yeah.
To be able to get to that where I can just go and get put on or. Whatever. You have to earn that sort of thing. So
yeah.
But I know that I can. I think what I learned in 2022 is that there's a lot of it's not hard to get on a show. It's not hard to just get on a show, but it's very hard to consistently get on shows and do well on shows. It's not
hard to get on shows, but it's hard to stay on shows.
Yeah. So I think starting to work towards some of that stuff is important for me.
Yeah, that's good. Small benchmarks. That's good.
Yeah,
I'm sure you'll. The one thing about you is I think once you apply yourself, you have the ability to. You can do it. I think with you, it's more of like sometimes I feel like it's like if you don't see the instant like thing,
sure.
If you're not seeing like progress within a certain amount of time frame, I think sometimes you get discouraged. So it's like you're just like, I'm not seeing like the progress, so this is not working. And with comedy, it's like that's not how it works. Like
with anything, it's tough. It's tough because with my day job, there's a lot of that.
You have to like
there has to be
instant like
this. This has to happen in 30 days.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't happen in 30 days, we're going to have a conversation about why it's not happening in 30 days. So I've started as a little hack to myself, just look at things. Well, another thing too is like when you're trying something new for the first time, for me at least, I like having friends in that space. And I like being, because when I go somewhere, we're talking about comedy, but like it could be anything. But for comedy's sake, like open mics are not fun for me. I don't have friends. I don't drink around strangers. I don't do that anymore. And I don't enjoy being in bars where all that stuff is kind of like required to have fun. So I'll go and I'll kind of just be like, all right, the fuck am I, go and do my set, record it, walk home, obsess about it, and then do it again. So that I think the hack for me is like starting to make more friends in that space, or at least starting to like enjoy the hang there a little bit more.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
Because you need there's a lot of downtime in comedy in the beginning.
Yeah.
So you have to know how to fill the space of time.
Yeah.
With the right people. And
that's
and that's the thing. Like you got to be careful like who you spend your time with and what you're engaging in and what you're allowing in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I could see coming from the world that you come from, like, I could see why most people would be like, what? Like, this is a waste of time.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one I know. I don't do the things that they're interested in. There's only one thing I really want to do is just come and tell jokes. But I have to wait either an hour or two just to do 5 minutes. And it's like, so I think one of the things, like, finding like a core people or some people that you can just like lean on or go with to these shows with. I mean, that's what I did. You know? It's like, it's just, comedians are, like the comedians, like the will for comedians to still continue to like do this thing. It's that's why comedians are like they're strong people, like the strongest people in the world, because they just force themselves to just do it, because they really like, they just do it, and then because they really love it, and then they grow to love it more, and then you grow to hate it, and then you go back to loving it.
It's everything.
It's everything.
Yeah, it's with everything. I think it's more of the I don't see you focus on the big picture. I kind of look at things on like day to day. I look at things day to day around like, okay, how is this gonna? How can I most? I'm a time blocker. I use my calendar and I time block, so I know exactly where every hour is going in my day. Some days I'm better with it. Some days I'm not. But like, say I'm on a Saturday and you hit me up and you're like, "Can we record tomorrow?"
Right.
Yeah. What time? I'm like around 12. I'm like, okay, 12 o'clock is when we're recording, and I'll put a calendar invite on my calendar.
I know. I know. Trust me. I know very well your calendar invite pressure.
See, you use the word pressure.
It's not pressure at all.
Pressure is
organized.
Pressure
in doing what you're supposed to do.
Is undefined, ambiguous. I don't know when it's going to come. It's very clear. To me that eliminates pressure.
It eliminates pressure, but the way it comes in a little hot.
Yeah.
It's more of the signal, the message I get.
Oh, okay.
When I get a Nicky Neighborhoods calendar, like I'm like, oh, this is important. This is,
yeah.
That's what as it should be. It gets me in that mode.
I think that's good though. I like that.
Yes.
There's gravity. There's weight to it.
Instead of waiting, boom, cancel. Yeah. Yep.
So for the show, I think we're doing video.
Yeah, it's a big component. We're working towards that.
We'll do more of it. We'll kind of switch up as we start to kind of configure the studio a little bit more. The sound quality will improve. We'll get a rug in here. We'll get some background stuff so people have some nice. You're framed properly. Mm-hmm. We'll just take kind of these baby steps, and hopefully we'll have some guests soon.
We will have some guests soon. Yeah, we got to definitely have some guests soon. We're working. It's just like this podcast. It's a step-by-step process, and the steps that you take for your comedy should be the same thing too, so I will say this in conclusion for this episode is that I am looking forward to the year. I am looking forward to what actually, with a little bit more consistency, persistence, and accountability, where we can go. And I feel like we're gonna make we're gonna reach some interesting goals this year.
I think everybody's in a good spot. I was having this conversation with my friends the other day, and they were talking about how it was 2022 for everyone. We're at a beautiful restaurant. We're all sitting around. Everyone was having cocktails.
Was at a beautiful restaurant. When was this?
This was last weekend.
Oh, I was around.
And
didn't get an invite. That's fine. Even though I invite you to pretty much everything I do.
Yep.
That's fine. Didn't even go to the wedding, but I'm still worried about that.
And then someone said something about Chase, and I said, okay, well, he's not here, so can we get over this or what? The group was not happy that I didn't invite you. They were not happy that the restaurant was not black owned.
I don't think that you would. I don't think you would invite me to like. I'm one of these friends like I'd be like, you'd have to be like, I gotta think about.
No, not. I would think about it because of my friends. Because of how obnoxious some of them you would really, most of them you would really like, but there's a couple that like comment on the quality of the food a certain way that I think you would just be like, ugh, is he really comparing Croque Madame from here to the Four Seasons and the last time he had it? This fucking guy. It's like it's little stuff like that I think you would just be like, okay, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
I'd probably croak. Yeah, how about fucking putting you in a Krav Maga?
Yeah. Fucking triple headlock.
Yeah.
What is it? Rear naked choke.
You and your croque le shekel.
In a Nick Lachey breakfast sandwich.
So
I would.
The group was saying what? What you guys were saying?
But basically, they were saying like, everyone there was very privileged, including myself, and someone was saying like, oh, 2022 was okay, and like I'm excited for 2023, and this, that, and the other thing, and I'm like, okay, we're sitting here having the Croque Madame was for the table and the French fries. Life is fucking great. Last year was great, and this year's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we joke about like we're fucking negative about certain things, but like seriously, you get a job, you can eat, you can go where you want, you can fucking talk, call your family. it's just the perspective of shit. I think
perspective.
sometimes for me, I get a little
rearranging the perspective, or reorganizing it back. Yeah, for sure.
How was your year? It's a great year, and guess what? 2023 is gonna be a fucking great year too.
Yeah, man, we're gonna lead with that energy. I fucking love that shit. I'm gonna go to Austin, Texas. Goddamn right. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna eat a bunch of steak, mashed potatoes. Gonna go to June's Soul for Real. Fucking down there.
I want you to walk into June's all day and go, "Hey, is this June's Soul for real?" Sure, yeah.
Sure.
It's whatever you want it to be.
I did not quit my job. I still have it.
Thank God.
New Year's Eve, it's a waste of money. Just stay home. Unless you go to a different country and you spend it with loved ones, don't go to overly priced places just for one night. Ubers are $130 just to go down the street to your house. Ugh. And my socials, by the way, guys, I'm going to be actually at the Comedy Connection. If you guys want to see more of my rants,
Couple of your skits.
a couple of my skits and skadoodles, I'll be at the Comedy Connection in January 19th to the 21st. I am hosting the Comedy Connection at this point. So each day by day, hopefully I don't get a text saying, they're going with someone else.
So sorry.
But at this point, I am scheduled to be at the Comedy Connection January 19th to the 21st, Providence, Rhode Island, one of my favorite comedy clubs in the country. Love the Comedy Connection. I'm hosting all weekend for Chris Red, who's Saturday Night Live, been on Conan, been everywhere. So I'm looking forward to working with him. And you can follow me on my social, Chase Abel, ChaseAbel on Instagram. I do have TikTok, Chase Abel _comedian. And my website, www.chaseabel.com, where it links all my socials and information. Nicky Neighborhoods, what you got?
I thought you were going to plug mine at Nicky Neighborhoods.
At Nicky Neighborhoods. Please, at Nicky Neighborhoods.
There's nothing up?
There's nothing up.
There's nothing on there?
I
just repost this podcast,
right,
and then whatever we do now going. There will be stuff on there at Nicky Neighborhoods.
Plain Pizza Metropolitan. Love you guys. You guys are the best. Follow, subscribe, rate. We out. Peace.